What's up, YouTube? This is James coming at you with another informative video. Damn, China ain't playing. Canada warns citizens over traveling to China after man suddenly handed death penalty. Well, death sentence. Check this video out.
China's sentencing of a Canadian national to death on Monday has drawn heavy criticism from Canada. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau blasted Beijing for the conviction of Robert Lloyd Schellenberg on drug offences. It's dealt a further blow to already icy relations between the two sides.
I will say it is of extreme concern to us as a government, as it should be to all our international friends and allies, that China has chosen to begin to arbitrarily apply death penalty in cases facing, as in this case, facing a Canadian.
State television showed Schellenberg in court, where prosecutors claimed he was involved in organised international drug crimes. He's accused of attempting to smuggle nearly 490 pounds of methamphetamine out of China in 2014. Schellenberg claims he was framed. His lawyer says he's likely to appeal the ruling. Late on Monday, Canada's Foreign Ministry updated its travel advisory for China, warning citizens about the, quote, arbitrary enforcement of local law. Ties between China and Canada turned sour last year after the arrest of Meng Wanzhou, executive of Chinese tech giant Huawei, at the request of the United States. US authorities allege Meng deceived international banks into clearing transactions with Iran. China's subsequent detention of 2 Canadians was labelled as a tit-for-tat reprisal by Western diplomats, though Beijing has never drawn a direct link between the cases and Meng's arrest.
Yeah, this is definitely a retaliation. That's what it seems like to me. One thing's for sure. I don't know how many of you guys, travel, do any traveling at all, but it's just not a good time to travel anywhere simply because of situations like this. A lot of tensions and, diplomatic problems, and especially with Americans and Canada. Because Canada is basically the same thing, It says Canada has issued a warning to its citizens about traveling to China after a Canadian man was sentenced to death on drug charges amid worsening diplomatic tensions. The Canadian government told travelers to exercise a high degree of caution in the country, highlighting Chinese authorities' arbitrary enforcement of local laws and the death penalty. Damn. It's not worth it. And why every time they go somewhere, they always somewhere peddling damn drugs? They fucked up this time going to China trying that shit. Them people don't play that kind of shit, The foreign, well, I'll take that back. It's just the alleged exports of their opium. Let's do that. I said alleged. The Foreign Ministry issued the updated advisory, hour after Robert Lloyd Schellenberg was sentenced to execution and a sudden retrial. 2 months after he was jailed for 15 years for drug smuggling. An appeals court in the northeast province of Luoyang had ordered the retrial within weeks of Canada's arrest of Meng Wanzhou, chief financial officer of the Chinese telecommunication giants Huawei. Yeah, that's what it's behind. That's what it is. This is retaliation, but shit, it's not good for him. The court ruled Schellenberg's initial jail term was too lenient. But Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau suggested Beijing was using its judicial system to apply pressure over the executive detention. It is of extreme concern to us as a government, as it should be to all our international friends and allies, that China has chosen to begin to arbitrarily apply a death penalty Mr. Trudeau said. Canada's update travel advisory noted that China's penalties for possession, use, production of trafficking of illegal drugs and strict and include the death penalty. Well, matter of fact, when Trump, let me see, back in the summer, I think it was, could have been the fall, he went to China and talked to the president there. And I think the president told him they don't have a drug problem simply because they enforce death penalties. Nobody playing with drugs and shit over there like that, you know? It's just that they want to keep their drug uses in their country and being able to export. I mean, not export, but, you know, whatever the word is, you know, export. Yeah, export. Penalties can be assigned arbitrarily, it added. Schallenberg, 36, was arrested more than 4 years ago and first went on trial in 2016. He was convicted of involvement in an international drug trafficking operation that planned to smuggling 220 kilograms of methamphetamines from a warehouse in the Chinese city of Dalian to Australia. The Canadian's lawyer, Zhang Dushao, said prosecutors had introduced no new evidence to justify a heavier sentence during Monday's retrial, during which Schallenberg maintained his innocence. I bet you do. He did. His client would appeal, he added. Appeal, they ain't gonna play too many appeals over there in Chinese court. This ain't America. This ain't Canada. Dude done fucked around and got in some serious trouble. And I bet you if they do execute him, it ain't going to take them no 5, 10 to 20 or more years to carry it out. See? Mr. Zhang described the case as unique and said the one-day proceedings has been unusually swift. But he declined to comment on any connections to Miss Ming's arrest. That's what it's about. Schallenberg's aunt, Lori Nelson Jones, said her family's worst fears had been realized. Our thoughts are with Robert at this time. It is rather unimaginable what he might be feeling and thinking, she added. It is a horrific, unfortunate, heartbreaking situation. China's foreign ministry rejected criticism of the sentence, telling Mr. Trudeau to respect the country's sovereignty. Yeah, see, they're not going to go over there changing, China's rules. China's not going to let them do that. See? And I doubt very serious that the government, like the Canadian government, is going to intervene in this on behalf of this guy. The only way that they probably will is if they let the Chinese woman go. That's the only way. See? The state-run Global Times newspaper dismissed suggestions that Beijing was attempting to pressure Canada over Miss Ming's case, complaining of unreasonable speculation that showed rude contempt for Chinese law. Public opinion in Canada has claimed recently that China is politicizing Schallenberg's case. But what Canada is doing is actually politicizing law, said the editorial published on Monday. Human Rights Watch accused China of playing hostage politics. Yeah. Executive Director Kenneth Roth said Schallenberg's rushed retrial and death penalty was a fairly transparent attempt to pressure Canada and to release Miss Ming. I bet you that do want him to release Miss Ming. Question is, will they? The executive, who is the daughter of Huawei's founder, was arrested at Vancouver Airport on 1st December at the request of the U.S. This shit goes, the rabbit hole runs deep on this case right here. Believe that. American authorities have accused Ms. Ming of using a subsidiary company to circumvent sanctions against Iran and have requested her extradition to face fraud charges. Her arrest outraged China and has caused tensions between Beijing, the U.S., and Canada. Yeah. Schellenberg is the third Canadian to run afoul of Chinese law since Ms. Ming's arrest. Former diplomat Michael Kovrig and business consultant Michael Spavor are both held on suspicion of endangering state security. Damn. On Monday, China's foreign minister said authorities had determined Mr. Kovrig was not entitled to diplomatic immunity, rejecting a complaint from Canada that Beijing was flaunting long-standing protocols. Yeah, these guys, that's what it all boils down to. You know, dude picked a bad time to run, methamphetamines, especially over in that country. You shouldn't be doing it in any country. This ain't none of America. See? So I bet he's praying that they release that woman, though. I'll tell you that. Y'all tell me what y'all think about it. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll get back with y'all later. Peace.